This was not that. Let me read another comment. It says, crazy how police academy doesn't do any psychological testing on their officers. Plus, it only takes 6 months of training to become one. Self medicated. That's the
Looks like we got us another hit. Yep.
name of the show. Self medicated. Now, people might think that I'm trying to go down the road of like some organic foods and herbs, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how our society is so like insane. It's so crazy that we have large amounts of us who, we self medicate. You know, the same kind of stuff. Like the pharmaceutical industry is a part of it. Like, it's so expensive to go to the doctor. It's so expensive to pay for these prescriptions. You know, so you find other ways, to medicate yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of us have mental health issues. We have anxiety. We have depression. You know, we have over compulsive disorders. We have addictions. You know, and so what we do is, we find ways to cope instead of doing it like the right way, as far as going to a doctor and maybe getting a proper script, or y'all figuring out what you can do about your diet or whatever, or maybe your lifestyle as far as your job, stuff like that, work-life balance. We don't have time for that. So we just medicate ourselves with, street drugs, alcohol, even the same pharmaceuticals that we would get from the script, but we get them from the street. It turns out to be cheaper. You don't have to do a doctor's visit. You don't have to get a referral. you know, I don't know, man. It's crazy. The idea of self medication is something I kind of wanted to talk about today. You know, I think, I do it, you know, and I should go to the doctor for some things. And, but instead, because I'm afraid of that price tag, I find other ways to do it. And I think that, a large amount of our society is really unhealthy. We're unhealthy physically. We're unhealthy mentally, we're sick, and I also think that a big part of that is like, it's not really our fault. The world that we live in, the way we live, working these jobs all the time, all about making money, all about paying bills, worried about this, that, and the other all the time. Always worried, always in a hurry, always in a rush, you know, way too much on our plate. One part of it is the families are the structure, like that's the basic part of society, or a country or whatever, is made up of groups of families. So the family unit is the base of it, like the atom or whatever, the building block. So it's like the family. Okay, so a lot of single parent homes, you got a lot of situations where even with two parents, they're just making ends meet every month, you know, with the price of everything, with this consumerism society that we live in. You have to keep buying stuff. You got to keep up with the Joneses. So the family unit is stressed out. We don't have the extended family like we used to have, the grandparents, the uncles and aunts to help watch the kids and help raise the kids and stuff. We don't have that support. And then we're supposed to do it all on our own. And then, so the thing is, money comes in because you have to pay for all of that, because you literally can't do all of that on your own. So that means you have to pay somebody to do it. And these people are strangers. These people, I mean, they're not your family. I mean, can you really trust them, really, And like, how do you feel? Because I felt bad whenever I had to drop my daughter when she was young, and I had to take her to daycare so that I could go to work. And sometimes I had to put her in some places where I paid for expensive ass daycare. But sometimes, like if it was late, those off hours type deals, the daycare isn't open. So you have to go to those 24-hour daycares. A lot of times they're shady places, and you don't feel like your child is safe there. Anything can happen, and you could see that the people that work there don't care about the kids. They're just collecting a check. So I'm just giving examples of like the pressures on the family, and the reason why we're stressed out and self-medicating. So then the kids all running around and they're acting crazy, and you just don't want to deal with it today. And you need something to take the edge off. Like the kids are screaming and running around, you just need something to take the edge off, so you self-medicate. But I think that what we should focus on is our lifestyle, right? How we live, the way our day to day works. Because if our day to day is flowing in a more of a balanced way, then we won't feel the need to self medicate. And then on the other side of it, we have to think about our health first. Like we need to think about work life balance first. Like we can't take care of our kids or take care of anybody if we're sick, if we're not well, if we're all messed up. So we got to make sure that our health is good so that we can do anything. So there goes the work life balance. There goes to eating right. There goes to exercising, spending time outside, spending time outdoors with nature. You know, that's where we'll find our health at, and that's where we'll find our sanity. A lot of people say that they go out on a hike, or they go out on a walk, or maybe they go into the woods, get lost in the woods, and then afterwards they feel better. It's a serenity. It's a I don't know. It's spiritual. It does something. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to go out there in the woods and get lost, and it was for fun, you know. Um, but as an adult, you're not supposed to do those things. Like all the things that you did as a child to have fun or whatever, totally healthy stuff. That's stuff that's not bad. Just running around, uh, but as an adult, they tell you you're not supposed to do that. That's children's. That's for children. That's child stuff. You're an adult now. You're not supposed to behave that way. But I think that's another part of us leading us into insanity. You know, because that running around we did as a kid, getting lost in the woods. Whatever, walking in the park, just being outside. That stuff is what we do as humans, and that's what makes us healthy. So when we grow up and then they tell us we're not supposed to do this stuff, then there goes those depressions, there goes the OCD, there goes the chemical dependencies, you know, and now we got to self-medicate because we really want to go out there and run around with the kids, but people are going to say stuff, and then you got to deal with what they have to say, trying to make you feel bad or ostracize you or whatever. Same thing with the careers and stuff, like paying bills and doing all of that. Like you're an adult, you're supposed to pay all these bills, you're supposed to have a house, you're supposed to have a car, you know, you're supposed to have the internet, you're supposed to have furniture and all of this stuff, the latest appliances, the latest phone and all of this stuff. So, but all of that is pressure. Like, what if I don't want to do that? What if I want to do something else? You know, as long as my family is good, as long as they don't go without, then I don't think what society is deciding us to do, the pressure from society, I don't think it really matters. And then we're gonna have a healthier society when you have individuals, households, or different households who are living more free, who have more work-life balance. It's a healthier household. So the household is healthier. Now the whole country, the nation is healthier. I want to
Yeah, just woke up.
cover this story right here because it's been playing in the background for a while. It
Good.
says